The views expressed on this program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Health and Wellness Monday, and our topic for today is Take Positive Steps to Beat the Holiday Blues. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, I spoke with Dr. Michelle and Dr. Tony Scott Terry, and we discussed what you need to know about menopause. Head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio. Stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is, "The first step in this journey is to remember that a great deal of stress that we feel about the holidays is of our own creation." And that's from Dr. Daisy Sutherland. Here is your trending topic for today. According to CNN, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted in the death of George Floyd, is expected to survive following an attack in prison in Arizona on Friday, according to a spokesperson from Minnesota Attorney General's office. The Associated Press earlier reported that Chauvin had been stabbed and was seriously injured on Friday. I am sad to hear that Derek Chauvin was the target of violence, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison said in a statement on Saturday. He was duly convicted of his crimes, and any incarcerated individual, he should be able to serve his sentence without fear of retaliation or violence. In a statement on Sunday, the Attorney General spokesperson Brian Evans said regarding Chauvin's condition, "We heard that he is expected to survive." Chauvin is serving a 21-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights, and as well as a concurrent 22-and-a-half-year sentence for murder on his conviction in Minnesota court. Floyd's death happened in 2020, and it unleashed protests worldwide against police brutality and racism. That is your trending topic for today. We are grateful for our sponsor. We have Emmanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, and he has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
If you are tuned in on any form of social media, please like the show, share the show, invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. Our topic, take positive steps to beat the holiday blues. According to a survey by the American Psychological Association, they found that 38% of people felt that their stress level increased during the holidays. And according to a survey from the National Alliance of Mental Health, they report that approximately 24% of people diagnosed with mental illness find that their illness condition worsened during the holidays. So we're talking about the holiday blues. So what is the holiday blues? The holiday blues is defined as a temporary feeling of anxiety, depression, sadness, loneliness, or any other emotions that you feel along with the holiday. And there are some common causes of the holiday blues, or I like to say the holiday stress. And I feel like we all can identify with the holiday blues. Whenever the holiday comes around, I don't know what it is, but some people get depressed. Some people just don't like the holiday. They want it to hurry up and want it to be the first of the year already. And you really don't get a chance to enjoy the holidays, like to sit back and enjoy it, because they come so fast. You have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's is like back to back. So before you can really even sit down and soak it all in, the new year has already started. So here are some common causes of holiday blues and holiday stress. We focus too much on the materialism. When the holidays come about, most people are thinking about spending money. When you think about Christmas, even Thanksgiving, when you're having to buy food, even if you're traveling, like you're spending money. When it comes to Christmas, you're spending money on decorations, you're spending money on presents, you're spending money on, if you're hosting people coming to your house, people are spending money for the holidays. And a lot of people are watching individuals on social media, and they're posting their homes being decorated, and people sometimes compete, and they're like, oh man, I got to have the best house on the block. I got to have the best decorations, so that they can have the best pictures on Facebook. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with the meaning of Christmas. We forget about the meaning of Christmas because we're thinking about the materialistic aspect of it all the time. So one thing that you can do is to come back to what it really means to you. What does Christmas mean to you? Bring it back to the beginning, and then I think that'll take away any of the materialistic things that we do when it comes to Christmas. Time pressures. I mentioned the holidays being back to back. And when they're back to back like that, you don't really have time to really sit down and plan, which we know Christmas comes every year, but for some reason we're rushing at the last minute trying to buy gifts, or either we put it off for the last minute trying to buy gifts. We're trying to fit everything in, trying to go to everybody's holiday parties. You got to buy outfits to go to the parties. You got to buy a ticket to go to the party. And just keep in mind that you cannot be everywhere all the time. So you have to be selective about your time. Our time is our currency. And so where you spend that time really matters. So be selective about the events that you go to, the tickets that you buy. Just be selective and be intentional about it. And then make sure that it really has something to do with the season, and that you're just not out there styling and profiling because you want somebody to see how much you spent on your outfit, or, how big your tree is, and how decorated your yard is. Kenya says, money, money, money. I despise the last minute shopping. People do. Some people wait for that last minute, Kenya, and they're running in the stores and about to knock somebody over, trying to get in there and get the last minute gifts. And it's like, come on, you had all year to do this. I have my girls to write out their Christmas list. I'm like, just write down everything that you figure you would want for Christmas. Not that I'm buying it all, but just write it down. So then I have, a list to go on, and I just pick and choose from that list. You can start ordering stuff off of Amazon, in June if you want to, depending on how much you're trying to buy and what you're trying to buy. But I know that's not realistic because most people shop at the last minute. But when you do that, you bring added stress onto yourself. This is stress that you're causing. So this is not something that the holiday is causing itself because it's the holiday season, but this is something that because of your lack of planning, you're running around stressing yourself out at the last minute trying to buy gifts. So just make sure that you're planning properly, and then you won't have to worry about being stressed out at the last minute. And that goes right into the financial concerns. Some people may not have the money to buy gifts. You may not have the money to do all of the decorating or to go to the different places. Some people have to take second jobs just to make ends meet for the holiday. You get hired seasonal, you make your money, and you use that money for your holiday plans. And that way you don't have to worry about, using your source of income that you normally would use. So you won't even tap into that. You just use a second job. And that may take a little stress away from some people because they don't have to really worry about, coming up short. Because when you are done with Christmas and New Year's, some people have a bill left over that they're paying for all the way up until June. And it's like, that's no fun because you're thinking about it and it's like, okay, I went into debt for what? Christmas is just one day. New Year's is just one day. But a lot of times we put ourselves into debt trying to keep up with the Joneses or just trying to create these unrealistic expectations when it comes to people or even ourselves because of what we see in the movies and on TV, what we think Christmas is supposed to be, this fairy tale, thing. And we try to recreate that in our homes. And a lot of times we can't. Kenya says, I'd normally be finished with her Christmas shopping by now, but unfortunately, a lot of people go broke trying to buy Christmas gifts. This is so true. It is so true. I try to be, for my girls, I'm like, look, you can pick a big item, but, pick things that you need, that you would need, daily, that you can use, and you would probably get more stuff versus you picking this big expensive item. Just be realistic. And if you don't have it, you just got to be honest and say, I don't have it. I don't have it. Red says he know people that start in the summer. It makes sense to do it, but how many people actually do that? That may be like a handful of people who actually really start in the summer just getting stuff when they having those, when Bath and Body Works have their sale on their candles, and their sprays and their lotions. Like, how many people really go in and stack that stuff up and be like, okay, you do have people that's out there that's strategic that will do that. And I think like the majority of us, like, I started my Christmas shopping last week. I didn't go in the store. I was online shopping. I would rather do it online versus being in the store. Like, I don't want to be in the store shopping. It's crazy. I would rather just be online and click the button and be like, okay, I'm done. And I know it takes the fun out of it because, people like to be in the stores. And it's not like it was when we were growing up. Like, you would go downtown to Marshall Field's window, Carson's window, and, you're shopping and the windows are decorated. So, it was scenery. It was nice. You can get some hot chocolate and, walk around downtown. And now it's like, I don't even want to go down there. I don't even know what store is down there. I know they closed Macy's. So I don't even know what's there. I don't want to be in the store. I would rather shop from the comfort of my home. So the next one is you're dealing with family. And some people can't wait to see certain family members, to spend some time with them because they may live out of town. So this may be the one holiday that y'all get together and y'all get to spend some quality time together. And then there are those family members that you don't want to see because they're toxic. And every time they're around, it's drama. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be an argument. Somebody was drinking too much. And then next thing you know, it's spoiled everybody's fun. And it's like, I don't even want to be here. And it's funny because I feel like that about my father's side of the family. I feel like they're more ghetto than my mom's side. Is like, oh, somebody's going to be drinking. Somebody's going to end up arguing and leaving here mad. Versus like my mom's side of the family is more spiritual. It's, everybody is just, to me, more loving. And there are some on my father's side that is, some of my aunties and my uncles. But for the most part, I would say it's my mom's side of the family where it seems like we value that time when we get together. It's like we're really, making sure that we're connecting with each other because they don't drink, right? They don't drink, they don't smoke. So we don't have those vices, in front of us that's causing us to act a different way. But this is the one time that most people, you really get to, be around your family and make some memories because, everybody may not be there the next year. So, you want to make sure that the time you spend together is going to be quality time. And it's not going to be one where, oh, the police was called, somebody went to jail and, now, we got to come up with some money, try to bail this person out. And I say, let them sit. Kenya said, and some family members you do not care to see. Exactly. Some of them you like, please don't let that person come. And if they come, I'd be like, you know how you call and you'd be like, oh, who's there? Like I'm one of the people that'll call and be like, who's there? And then if they mention a name, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not coming. And they'd be like, you're not, I'm not. I'm just not. Because I don't want to subject myself to any of the drama. I don't want to go and be phony. I would rather sit at home and just mind my own business. And it's sad to say because then you don't get to see the rest of the family members because of that one person. But, it's just like, I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to subject myself to the negativity. Number 5 is guilt and the pleasure relating to gift giving. And some people, they feel like, especially if someone gives you a gift and it was like way more money than you was going to spend on them, or you weren't even planning on getting them a gift, and next thing you know, they brought you one, and you're like, shoot, now I got to go buy this person a gift. Or you're trying to figure out how you're going to get them something to kind of equal what they gave you. And you may feel guilty that you don't even have enough money to buy your children gifts. It could be stressful, just trying to figure out, can you afford to get them gifts? And the gifts that you're giving them, is this enough? Because they're going to go to school, they're going to compare, and they're like, oh, that's all you got. But girl, this is what I got. And it's like, we have to teach our children to be grateful. And it's not about the materialistic things that you get. Like I said, we've lost the meaning of what Christmas really means. It's commercialized to where, they make a lot of money off of this one holiday because of consumers. We'll give our whole paycheck. We'll skip paying rent for that month just to make sure that we got presents under the tree. And then the landlord's knocking on our door a couple of days later like, hey, here's your 5-day notice. So I would say don't feel guilty. If you honestly cannot afford to give gifts, then you shouldn't do it. Create something on your own. They have so many things that you can do as far as creating. You can write them a poem. You can get one of those little things at 5 and below to where you can paint them a picture. They have things where you can make them candles. You can make them bracelets. Like it's so many things. And depending on who you buying a gift for, if it's children, I mean, you could go to the 5 and below and like rack up. And if you have a child that's not really into like name brand stuff, they're not going to care. They're not going to care. So you just have to make sure that you're giving from your heart and you giving whatever it is that you can afford to give without breaking your bank, without it causing you to go into depression and worrying about how you're going to pay your bills in the next couple of days, because you still have to live after Christmas. You have to live. Kenya says drama, negative energy are wrapped up into one. I'm so serious. And I'd be like, you know what? As soon as I hear the first sight of somebody arguing, I'm like, let's go. I'm gone, man. My girls, I'm not about to sit here with this. I'm not. I didn't come here for this. And you already know certain ones there, you know what they're going to be doing. Hey, Sharon, you already know what they're going to be doing. So I'm like, I don't want to be bothered, especially around the holidays. I want it to be peaceful around people that I love and that have some sense. Number 6 is unexpected sources of stress. Unexpected sources of stress can come from unexpected financial crisis that happens around the holidays. It could be anything. It could be your landlord going up on your rent. It could be your insurance. It's time for your insurance to be renewed and they're going up on the insurance. It could be anything that happens. You could have a car accident. Now you got to pay your deductible. It could be any unexpected source of stress that adds to this stress around the holidays. Somebody could get sick. You could lose a loved one. There's so many things that could pop up that can add stress around the holidays. A lot of people don't like the holidays because it's associated with someone passing away around the holidays. And it's like, no, I don't even want to celebrate because they pass so close by the holidays and it reminds you of them. And now you don't even want to celebrate the holidays. For me, Christmas was my dad's holiday. He used to decorate the house, and outside of the house, it was his thing. He would have the biggest lit house on the block. When I say it has so many lights and just themes and big old Santas and reindeers, like it would be so huge. And the rest of the block would be trying to compete with him. He would be the first to get it up, and then it would just be so, we would just drive by the house and be like, oh my gosh. It would be so crazy. But that was his thing. He loved decorating for Christmas. And when I lived at the house, I would help him decorate. And it was just our thing. Like he loved it. And I was just like, why? Like it was just so crazy. And then when he got sick and passed away, like my mom, she'll throw one string of lights in the window. And it's like, how can you do that? And you know that was his thing. She was like, that was his thing. That wasn't my thing. Like, I'm not about to put up all of that stuff. And it's just like you drive by the house and it's just not the same. It's just not the same. I'm so used to just driving by and seeing the house just lit up. And that was one of my fun memories of him, and our connection together was me helping him to just decorate the house. So the Christmas time, the holidays can be a time where you can create memories with your family. And it doesn't have to be memories that you have to go to the store and spend money. Find out some free things that they have in Chicago. They have zoo lights in Chicago, or in Illinois, period. They have zoo lights where you could go, and they have free days. I think it's like maybe $5 to $7. But then they have days where you can go for free. You just have to get your tickets online, and you don't even have to pay. You can take your family to go see zoo lights. They have free days at the Shared Aquarium. You just have to get online and get the free days, and you can take your kids to the Shared Aquarium. There are so many things that you can do. You could drive downtown or get on a train, go downtown and walk around the beam, walk around on the Magnificent Mile and see the lights. And you just spent money on a train, and that was it. We don't have to spend a lot of money. Only time when we're trying to spend a lot of money is we see somebody else have something or bragging about something, and then we feel like, oh, wow, I should have that, or I deserve that. And not that you don't, but be realistic. Like, be realistic with your life and what's in your pocket, what you have and what you don't have. And you don't have to compete. You figure out, do I really need that? Do I really need it? Do I really need a new car? Because your best friend just got a new car, and you feel like, do I need a new car? And your car is almost paid for, and you about to be car note free. Then you go get another car because you're trying to keep up with somebody else. Versus looking at your own household and saying, no, we don't need that. This car is almost paid for, and guess what? I need some months without a car note. So you can stack that money up for Christmas. So a lot of times we don't think. We don't think about it. We don't. Red says, well, some people don't value family gatherings or time. That's true. That is so true. And it's so sad because that's really the one time, either funerals or weddings are really the only time when we normally would get together, right? When you would see mostly everybody. So when you have like Christmas gatherings where you have like one big holiday, whether it's Christmas or the 4th of July or Thanksgiving, to where all of the family gets together, that should be the time where, man, whatever you have, and it should be packed with family members at that point. It should be, everybody should be there. But sometimes you have to pull teeth just to get your own family to go. Then you see them at the funeral, you be like, oh, hey, yeah, I ain't seen you in how long? It's sad. And I really feel like it starts with the matriarch or the patriarch of the family. A lot of times it starts with them. And then when they pass away, sometimes people just fall off. Like they would do it when those people were there. And then when they pass away, they kind of like fall off and be like, I ain't got to do that. I ain't coming. and which is really sad because you have the younger generation coming behind you. And a lot of times people don't know who their cousins are. They don't know who's who because we don't get together enough. And when we get together, sometimes it just be drama. It'd be drama. Sharon says, just let me know if you got some beef, a family member, then just stay at home. Don't go to the gathering and ruin it for other people. Don't ruin other people's vibe, their positive vibe. If you know, y'all, okay, you're not speaking to so-and-so, don't just stay at home or approach that person and work it out. And don't come to the family reunion, like she said, and ruin it for other people. And people will do that. People will do that. They be like, okay, is she there? All right, I'm on my way there. Oh, God. Sharon said, yes, Jesus is the reason for the season. People are so materialistic during this time. Or do a family secret Santa. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. You know what? Then you have some people, when you do the secret Santa, then some people come and they ain't bring their gifts. And you like, wait a minute, why you didn't bring your gift? Oh, I forgot. But they come still expecting their gifts. But I think a secret Santa it's a good idea. That way everybody gets something. You're not spending a lot of money trying to buy 5 or 6 people a gift. You just buy that one person a gift. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about some of those positive steps that you can do to beat the holiday blues. And the first one is to stick to your normal routine. Do not get out of your normal routine trying to, again, compete with other people and spending money that you do not have. Maintain the routine that you have because it's going to be less stressful during this high stressful time, right? So that you can feel grounded, you can feel secure, because whenever you get out of your routine, what happens? Chaos. So make sure you try to stick to your routine as normal as possible. Don't try to do anything out of the ordinary that's going to cause you to be stressed, that's going to cause you to spend money, right? And cause you to have a headache 6 months down the line. Be realistic with yourself. Don't set unrealistic expectations when it comes to the holidays. And a lot of times we do that. We want this perfect holiday, again, that we've seen probably on TV, and we forget what the holiday really should be about. It should be about togetherness. It should be about family, us coming together, making memories. So your expectations should be something that's achievable for you and for your family, and is not according to anybody else's expectations. You know, make sure you're doing a to-do list, the things that you want to do, you need to do. The one thing, I normally take vacation time around the holidays so that I can do things with the girls. Like I said, there's so many things to do. You have ice skating downtown at Maggie Daly Park. It's so many things that you could do downtown with the kids or just around town with the kids, to where, you know, you're spending little to no money, but then you're making memories. You know, keep it simple. Keep it simple. You know, don't try to like overdo it so you can, you know, post all these pictures on Facebook so people think that, you know, oh, they got the bag over there. No, you don't. You don't. And so that comes with setting a budget, because things can be difficult between the holidays. And you want to make sure that whatever budget that you set for the holidays, that you stick with it as much as possible, right? When you're shopping for food, for gifts, you know, I can't do that. This is what I can do, especially if money is tight. It's just going to make you more depressed. And remember, you can't buy happiness. I don't care how much money you have. You can't buy happiness. There are people out here with money and they're still depressed. They're still depressed. We've seen people commit suicide, and you're like, why would they commit suicide? You know, they got money, they got this and that. You cannot buy happiness. You cannot buy a peace of mind. Make sure that you're maintaining your healthy habits. No drinking, because a lot of times people, if they're stressed, then if drinking is one of their vices, they're going to drink. If, you know, getting high is one of your things, you're going to do that. Like, try to maintain some healthy habits around the holidays when it comes to even eating healthy, making sure that you're moving, getting plenty of sleep, and exercise actually can reduce the amount of stress that you're under. If you're stressed, go exercise. It can reduce that stress. We just, a lot of times, you don't even feel like it. When you're stressed out, you like, I don't feel like doing nothing. You just sit on the couch or whatever. You may eat, because some people eat when they're stressed out, So if you go exercise, guess what? It's going to release some of that stress. Alcohol, when you're down and you drink it, no. Alcohol is a depressant. It's not going to pick you up. It's going to make you feel worse than you feel. So do everything in moderation. If you're drinking, do it in moderation. If you're eating and you're stressed, do it in moderation, because you don't look up and next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, I gained all this weight because you were depressed. Number 5, let go of the past. Whatever happened in the past, let it go and create new memories for the holidays. We miss the people that are no longer with us, and then it's okay to miss them, but it's okay to create your own memories for you and your children, for your family, for your loved ones. And just remember that, grief is a process, and there's no time limit on grief. But you should, if you're feeling like you're grieved during the holidays, you should be seeking help. If you've been grieving for a long time, you should be in some type of counseling to talk to someone to help you. I'm not going to say get over it, but just to help you get through it. Some of the things that we did in the past, we shouldn't be even doing. It doesn't even make sense. Let it go and start new memories with your family. Start new traditions with your family. New things that you guys can do. One of the things that me and my girls do for Christmas is, and I know a lot of families does this as well, is we get matching pajamas and we put them on Christmas Eve, and we make some hot chocolate, we make some cookies, and we build gingerbread houses, and we have like a little contest between us who has the best gingerbread house. And we take pictures and we sing, and that's our Christmas Eve. And that's something we do and we look forward to every Christmas Eve. And then New Year's Eve, we have our own little celebration at home. I buy the non-alcoholic sparkling drink, and we have our little snacks that we're going to eat for the night. We have our little party makers, and we count down just like we was out somewhere, and we have fun. And that's one of the things that we do, and they look forward to doing it every year. They be ready to do it. Like, Mom, did you get the stuff? And they're ready. So you have to create your own memories, something that maybe they could pass down to their children, or when they get there, they create their own memories. So don't feel like, you have to always stick with tradition. Make your own traditions. Kenya says, how about if your dad comes over for Christmas and he brings his girlfriend and she's actually someone you went to school with? What? That could be challenging, but don't let it stress you out. That's his headache. Don't let it stress you out. I know it could be embarrassing. You're like, really, Dad, really? Wow. I don't even know. It could be stressful, and it could be embarrassing, but I wouldn't even allow it to stress me out. I'd just be like, oh, hey. And because a lot of times when you let people know that something's bothering you, then they tend to kind of like rub it in your face or try to make you feel a certain way. So I would just make it feel like it ain't even bothering me. Don't give it any attention. Number 7 is don't isolate yourself. Don't just shut down and be like, I ain't going nowhere. I don't want to be bothered with nobody. I'm just going to be here by myself. No, seek out your community that you could be around, for the holidays, or not just for the holidays, but you should have your community that will help you not feel lonely or anxious or stressed out. Like you should have that family member or friends that you can call or text or video chat and talk to them about your feelings and why you're feeling that way. You should not have to be by yourself and hold everything in because, you feel like, oh, people judging me, or I don't want to be bothered. And you feel like you are alone, but you're not. 9 times out of 10, somebody else may be going through the same things that you're going through. So you're not alone. And number 8 is learn how to say no. If it's something that you don't want to do, that you're tired of doing, and you just feel stressed when somebody asks you to do it, just say no. Don't say, oh, I'm going to get back to you. Oh, I'm going to think about it. Oh, well, I just said, yeah, right now, but then I'm going to change my mind. Like, no, just politely say no. Don't take on too many responsibilities, especially around the holidays, because you're going to feel overwhelmed. Just kindly decline the invitation, set your limits, and be honest about what you can and cannot do. And select meaningful experiences for you and your loved ones to do, where you want to do or where you want to spend your holidays. You don't have to be everywhere with everybody. And you don't have to, you can go and volunteer somewhere else for someone else who needs it. There are a lot of different places where you can go and volunteer your time, and you can feed someone, or, be there to listen, or you can go to the nursing homes and just be there to listen, or you can make some cards and take it up there, or some little gifts or teddy bears to where the children are. Like, there are so many things that you could do to donate your time to where you're not spending money. It's not all about money. And volunteering for someone else who may be going through, sometimes it lightens your mood and it makes you more grateful versus you complaining about what it is that you're going through. A lot of times we need to take a break from social media, from just everything that's being portrayed out there right now, because we know that a lot of it is not even true. A lot of people put stuff on social media and they make it seem like it's picture perfect, and a lot of people get depressed and they get envious and they feel like, man, I don't have nothing going on over here. Why is everything happening for everybody else? It's like, a lot of times you don't know what people had to go through to get what they have. You have no idea. So take a break. Take a break from social media. Shut it down for a couple of days, weeks, whatever it is, though, so that you'll be able to filter out those things in your mind and start fresh. Because at that point, you're probably at a weak state to where anything you see is going to set you back. And number 11, set aside time to relax for yourself on your own. Do something for you. Go get a massage. Go pamper yourself. Take yourself out to eat. Take yourself to the movies. Do something for you. Instead of you running around trying to please everybody else. What about you? Don't slack on self-care. It's so important. Don't slack on self-care. In order for you to take care of somebody else, you have to pour into yourself first before you can help anybody else. If you're constantly pouring out to everybody else, then when it's time for you, you're going to be on empty. You're going to be on empty. And you're not going to be able to. You're going to be short with people. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be complaining because you have not energized yourself. You haven't. Sharon says, play some online games, stimulation for the mind. Yes. There's so many things that you can do to where, if you didn't want to go out and you didn't want to be bothered, there's some things that you can do online to where you're not watching someone else's life and what they're doing and making you more depressed. And number 13, I think I talked about this one already, about alcohol in moderation. Make sure that you're not covering up what you're feeling with alcohol or with substances. So what do you do if the holiday blues do not go away. There's something called SAD, and it's seasonal affective disorder. And this is from the reduced sunlight in the wintertime, because it gets darker quicker. It can interfere with our biological clocks, and it can diminish our brain chemicals that regulate our mood and our sleep. And it puts us at risk for SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's a real thing. And those who suffer from SAD, they may experience prolonged periods of depression. So it's not like, oh, I have the holiday blues to where it's lasting for the holidays. No, this lasts for the fall and the winter. And if you're feeling like you have SAD, and some of the symptoms of SAD is you being unhappy, you have a lack of energy, you're having a problem concentrating, you may lose sleep, you may not even want to eat. You don't even want to, the things that you normally would want to do, you're like, I don't even want to do it. I don't have the strength. I don't have the motivation. You feel hopeless. You don't want to do anything. You may even have thoughts of suicide. And if you are feeling any of those things, you should be seeking help. You should not be trying to do these things on your own. You should not be like, no, I can handle it. No, you can't. You should not be trying to do this on your own. You should be seeking help. So let's talk about a myth. It says suicide rates increase during the holidays. And it seemed like it would, right? Around the holidays, it seemed like people would be depressed and, they don't want to be here. It's just too much. But it says actually the highest rate of suicide occur in the late spring after the holiday season, but the risk of suicide is just as serious during the holidays as it is year round. So it's still serious, but it doesn't increase because it's the holidays. Kenya said, but some people, it would put them in a stage because, but some people, it will put them in a stage because they are so used to buying lavish gifts and now they can't afford to buy them. That's true. And I would say you would have to have a reality check with yourself, because the last thing you want to do is to be doing stuff that's going to get you in trouble or committing some crimes, because now you're trying to keep up with other people. And if you can't afford to buy it, then you need to have a reality check with yourself and say, okay, I can't afford to buy this stuff. So I have to either work towards getting to that point to where I was, to where I can, or you're going to have to reassess yourself and say, maybe that's just not for me. And it's not for everybody. There's only so many people who are millionaires. There's only so many people who are billionaires. It's not for everybody. It doesn't mean that you can't live a comfortable life to where you can have the things that you want and need. But you're going to have to get yourself to a place to where you can get it, where you can get those things, but not have them stressing you out trying to get them. And now you depressed, you trying to commit suicide, you drinking like crazy because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. All right, number 2, everyone gets the holiday blues. It's no big deal. Is this a myth or is this a fact? And it says, while the holiday blues are different from a diagnosed mental illness, short-term mental health crisis and issues should not be taken lightly. It should be taken very seriously. So even if you just have the holiday blues, sometimes people may say, oh, I'm okay. I'm just a little depressed. I've been feeling a little down, and they just push it off. But it's saying, don't do that. You still may need to see somebody, even for the holiday blues, just to go and talk to, a therapist, just to clear your head, so you know that, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. This is something that happens. As they say, this too shall pass. Holiday blues don't last a long time. If you had the SAD, then that one normally lasts a long time. It lasts past the holiday blues, but you still can go and get help. So don't feel like because you have the holiday blues that you're okay. you're still at risk for having long-term mental illness. Number 3, adults are the only ones who get sad around the holidays. No, children have feelings too. Children and teens are at higher risk for short-term mental health issues around the holidays. And they said that the psychiatric hospitals are higher in the winter for children. So you have to watch out for your children as well. They can be sad around the holidays. They have feelings just like we do. They process things just like we do. Number 4, if you already struggle with mental health, then the holidays aren't that much different, it says. It says the holidays can inflate a lot of the stressors and triggers for an individual who's already dealing with mental health issues. So pre-existing mental health issues, it doesn't exempt you from the holiday blues. So you can have that on top of that, more than one thing. So it's not going to erase any of it. Sharon says, if someone tells you that they feel a little down, if you can give them a shoulder to lean on, make them know that they matter. Amen, Sharon. Amen to that. Take time to listen. You know, you don't even have to say nothing. Sometimes people, they don't want you to fix it. Sometimes they just want people to listen. Number 5, it says, if I ignore the signs, it'll go away. I think I already talked about that. And it's like, no, it's not going to go away if you ignore it. Leaving short-term mental health untreated can quickly turn into long-term issues. So doing things like I mentioned, that consuming alcohol or financially straining yourself to buy gifts for the holiday, you're just putting a Band-Aid on what it is that you're going through, what it is that you're feeling. So you have to deal with the issues. And know that depression is treatable. It is nothing to be ashamed of. And you don't have to run around with a sign on you saying, oh, I'm depressed. No, go and get you some help. Go and get you some help. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. So don't be afraid to ask and seek out help if you're going through the holiday period and you just don't feel like yourself. Don't feel like you have to isolate yourself and go at it alone. No, seek out help. Talk to some friends, somebody you trust that's not going to, tell your business to other people. And more importantly, talk to a therapist. All right, you guys. So we just talked about taking positive steps to beat the holiday blues. So I hope that you heard something in there that you can use to help you to combat the holiday blues, because you do not have to suffer in silence and you don't have to suffer alone. Warriors Talk is always looking for individuals to share their cancer journey on Warriors Talk. All you have to do is email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com and let me know that you are ready to share. Our clothing sponsor for today is Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, and she is catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. Head on over to marykay.com/GDOTSON and make sure you tell her that Warriors Talk sent you. Don't go anywhere, you guys, because coming up at 7 o'clock right here on Intellectual Radio is The People Show with Charles Thomas and Mark Wallace. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. It is important to remember that although the hustle and bustle of the holidays are upon you, your daily routine should not end. Your everyday practices help to calm and center you, and you will still need them to get through this busy season. And that's by Dr. Daisy Sutherland. Join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.